Hi guys, in this video I'll be showing you how to implement dragging and dropping in WPF. Now you might want to add a drag and drop feature to your application where necessary. This would help enhance the user experience of your application. So with that being said, let's go to Visual Studio and get to the coding. Now here in Visual Studio, I already have a WPF project set up. And within the project, I added a folder called icons. And I have a bunch of images inside this folder. I'll be using these images to demonstrate the drag and drop feature. The first step I'll be taking is to ensure that these images have their build action set to resource right here in the properties panel, and to ensure that the copy to output directory property is set to copy always. This ensures that every time we build this application, these images will be placed inside the same folder that the application will be executed from. Now, dragging and dropping is simply a mechanism that facilitates transferring information from one object to the other while interacting with the UI. Simply put, it's using the mouse to drag a UI element from a source to a target and being able to transfer information during that process. For this tutorial, I have created a custom control that I'll be using to demonstrate the drag and drop feature. I created this control and I gave it a name, display towel. Let's go ahead and open it up. Here in the XAML code of this user control, I have an image and a text block defined. The function of this control will be simply to display an image and some text. Now here I'm creating some data bindings to two properties. One is image and the other is text. Let's go to the code behind of this user control. Here in the code behind, I have two dependency properties defined, text and image. It is to these properties that I'm actually binding the UI to. In the constructor, I have set the data context to this. This simply makes these properties available in the UI for data binding. Now what I'm going to be achieving is every time the mouse moves over the control and the left key on the mouse is pressed, I'm going to initiate the drag drop operation. Now to do that, I'm going to override a method that's defined on this class, and this is the onMouseMove method. This method is invoked every time the mouse is moving over the control. Now to ensure that the left key on the mouse is pressed, I'm going to introduce an if statement, and this if statement is going to check the state of the left key. So I'll say if, then I'll get this argument here. I'll say E, and then I'll get the left button. Then I'll make sure that the state of the left button is pressed. So if it is pressed, then I can begin the drag drop operation. So what I'll simply do is I'll use a class that's defined on the .NET, and it's a static class. It contains a method that we're going to use to initialize this drag drop operation. So the name of the class is drag drop, and it contains a method do drag drop. This method takes in 3 arguments. So the first one is the property that's the source of the drag drop operation. And in this case, this very control will be that property. Now, the second is some data object. So this can be information that we would like to transfer to the target. And in this case, I'll just be using the very same class here. So I'm going to set this to this. And for the third one, it's a property that sets the drag drop effect. So for this case, we can set it to all, copy, link, move, none, or scroll. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'll just set it to move, and that's it. So this bunch of code here is going to begin the drag drop operation, and it's going to associate that drag drop operation with this data. So the data that I'm going to be transferring to the target is the text and the image. Now let's go to the main window.xaml file. So here in the main window.xaml, I have two wrap panels defined. The first wrap panel is going to host the user controls, and the second panel is going to act as the target. So what will be happening is I'll be dragging the user controls from this panel to the target panel here. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to add the user controls to this panel. So for the sake of speed, I'll just paste the code. Now here I have the display tile defined, and I have set some text, and I've also defined the image, and you can see we now have the user controls defined here. The next step I'll be taking is I'll be setting this panel as the target panel. So I'm going to give it a name, and I'll set its name to target panel. Now, to enable this panel to receive a drop, I'm going to set a property, and this property is the allow drop property. I'll set it to true. When this property is set to true, it simply means this panel can now receive a drop, and it can handle the drop event. Now, the other thing is that when you have a control and you have the background set to no, that control will not handle any heat tests. So I need to set the background of this wrap panel to some form of color. In this case, I can just set it to transparent, and that should do. Now the next step I'll be taking is I'm going to implement the drop event handler for this wrap panel. So when the drop takes place, an event is going to be raised, and it is through that event that I'll be able to receive the data and do whatever I want to do with that data. So right here, I'm going to implement the drop event. So I'm going to create a new event handler. Now I'll go to the code behind of this main window. And here you can see I have the event handler defined. So the first step I'll be doing is I'll be receiving the data transferred during the operation. So I'm going to create a variable, and I'll just give it a name obj. Now to get the data, I'll be using this argument here. So I'll say is equal to e, and then I'll get the data property, and then through this data property I'm going to specify a method. I'm going to call a method rather, and this is a get data method. Now this method takes in an argument, and the argument is simply specifying the format of data we are expecting to receive. Now if we go back to this tower, we see that we passed in this object as the data, and we know that this object is of the type display tile. So here in this code we need to specify that this is a type of display tile. So I'll just say type of, then I'll specify the type display tile. So this get method is going to return an object in the format of display tile. Now the object will be returned as an object, so I now need to cast this object as a display tile, and that should do it. Now here we now have the information that has been transferred during the operation. Now the next step I'll be taking is I'll be taking this object and I'll be accessing its parent. So right here I'll be accessing the parent. Now I know that the parent of this display tile is a wrap panel. So what I'll do is I'm going to cast it to a wrap panel. So I'll simply say wrap panel. So once I have the wrap panel, that's the parent to this object I received, I'm now going to access its children, and from its children I'm going to remove this object. So I'll remove this object from the source panel. Now, what's happening here is this object is being removed as a logical child of the wrap panel, but it's still existing, it's still referenced, but it's just not the child of that panel. So once I remove it from that panel, I'll now place it in the target panel. So here I'm going to call the target panel, and I'll say children, then I'll say add. So I'll call the add method, and I'll specify the display towel, and I'll add it to this target panel. So it's as simple as that. Now let's just have a quick review before we can run this code. So here we have the display towel control, and what happens is when the mouse is moving and the left button is pressed, we initiate the drag drop operation. So using this static class called drag drop, we initiate that operation, and we pass some data, and the data that we are passing is this very same class here. Now once that drop is dropped onto this wrap panel here, we handle that drop event right here. So the drop event is handled here. So we get the object that was transferred during the process, we get its parent, and we remove it from its parent, and we simply add that object into the target panel. So that should sum up the whole drag and drop operation. So I'll now go ahead and test this code. Alright, so the application is up and running. So I'll begin the drag drop operation by holding the left key on the mouse, and I'll drag it over the target, and you can see the cursor changes. So I'll place it here. I'll do the same for the rest, and you can see immediately I drop it, it's removed from the first wrap panel and placed into the second wrap panel. So I'll do the rest, and we see the application works as expected. So I hope this video sheds more light on the drag and drop operations provided in WPF. Now remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more C# content. I'll see you in the next one.